Okay, we're going to talk about creating a data set. And everything that we're doing is based on analyzing data. And in order to analyze data in R, you have to bring that data into R. So we need to create a data set in R. Now you've learned how to do a lot of this already. You've worked with vectors a little bit, and you've even done the most important one, which is the data frame. So this will be a kind of a review, but it'll also be deeper than what we've said so far. Okay, so a data set. This is like a data set here. You've already worked with data sets in the homework, so you know what a data set is, but let's go through this. Data set is usually a rectangular array of data with rows representing what we call the observations and columns representing the variables. So here's a row, and here's another row. So you guys created some data sets already when you collected data. So this is a column. This is the patient ID variable, and the admit date, and the age, diabetes, type 1, type 2, and the status, poor, improved, excellent, poor. So this is about people that have diabetes and have been admitted to a hospital. He says different traditions have different names for the rows and columns of a data set. So he's going to use in this text observations and variables. So the rows, he'll use the word observations, and the columns, he'll use the word variables. So the variables are here: patient ID, admit date, I guess that's what that means, age, diabetes, and status. The observations, this is the first observation, this is the second observation, and so on. So the observations are the rows. Okay, you can distinguish between the structure of the data set and the contents or data types included. In the data set shown in table 2.1, patient ID is a row or case identifier. What they're saying here is just, this is like, basically we can say this is the, one thing we can say is that these should be, actually they don't have to be unique. I'm not sure. But usually there's one column in a data set that is unique for each row. So maybe these do have to be unique, I'm not sure. But usually in any data set there should be at least one column where every observation has a different value for that column. So here we see everyone has a different patient ID, and we shouldn't have two people, we shouldn't have two entries for the same patient, I guess. Especially, if these are actually all unique. Okay. So he's calling that a case identifier. This variable is a date variable. It means the type is date, whereas this type is like just a number, maybe an integer, maybe not actually. Age is a continuous variable. Diabetes is a nominal variable, so that means it's a categorical variable. It's not a quantitative variable. It just takes on a couple different types. Couple different categories or values. And status is an ordinal variable. Ordinal means it's kind of like a number in that you can make an order from least to greatest, but it's obviously on the other hand it's not a number. So poor is obviously not a number, excellent is obviously not a number, but you can kind of put these in order, right? Poor is the lowest or the worst, and improved comes after that, and excellent comes after that, right? So when you have data that is sort of, it's not numerical, because of course numbers we can put in order, right? I can say 1 comes before 2, becomes 3, comes before 4, or whatever, 25 comes before 28, which comes before 34, which comes before 52. So that's certainly ordered, but these are numbers. But these are not numbers, but still you can put them in an order. One is greater than another is greater than another, and so on. So that's called ordinal data. Okay? So R contains a wide variety of structures for holding data, including scalars. Scalars just means like single number, 1, 10, 54, any kind of number, but just a single number, as opposed to a vector, which we've seen many times, which is, you've seen that. Arrays, we'll talk about that. And data frames, you've seen that because you've in your last homework, you had to create a data frame from your data. And also what are called lists. And actually a data frame is a type of a list. Table 2.1 corresponds to a data frame. So this would correspond to a data frame, just like your data corresponded to a data frame. This diversity of structures provides the R language with a great deal of flexibility in dealing with data. So there's all these different types of structures for holding data, and that makes it more useful, makes R more useful. The data types or modes, so data type in R is called the mode. I don't know why they don't call it the data type, because that's what every other language calls it, but they call it the mode. So the mode means, I don't know, are these integers, or actually they say, are they numeric? Are they character, like a string, like a text, like we might have here? I guess the mode of this is probably, but not necessarily, character. And the mode of this is probably character. The mode of this is numeric. The mode of this, I believe, is called date. But I'm not sure about that actually. Logical just means when you have a true-false variable, like smoker. You know, is somebody a smoker? So that would be yes or no, true or false. So that would be called a logical variable. It's kind of a weird name to use, but that's what's always used. It's called logical. Complex for imaginary numbers, which might need that, and raw data, which is bytes. In R, patient ID, this one, and this one would be numeric. Diabetes status would be character. Additionally, you'll need to tell R that patient ID is a case identifier. So that's what I guess what they mean. They mean that it's in other systems it's called a unique key. But anyway, it's a case identifier. Admin date contains dates. Diabetes and status are nominal, so it's not a number. So it's called categorical or nominal or qualitative. Nominal. He's using the word nominal here. And ordinal variables, respectively. R refers to case identifiers as row names and categorical variables, nominal, ordinal, as factors. Okay, so I think I've said that before, but categorical variables, which can be either nominal or ordinal. Nominal means there's no order. Ordinal still means that it's a string or a categorical variable, but as I said, it has order. You can order them. And these together are called factors. Okay, we'll cover each of these in the next section, and you'll learn about dates in chapter 3. Okay, let's stop here. Then we're going to look at this, data structures. So this is a vector. It means you can put something here and something here and something here. We've done that. This is a matrix, so you can go this way, but you can also go this way. And this is called an array. So we could say that if this is a three-dimensional array, And this is a matrix. We could call it a two-dimensional array, and a vector we could call it a one-dimensional array. Okay, so they're all arrays, but what we can call a one-dimensional array, we usually call it a vector, and a two-dimensional array, we usually call it a matrix. Okay, anyway, we'll come back to this next.